For love to transcend the boundaries of mere emotion, it must be mutual. Jane and Mr. Rochester's love is successful only when it is consensual and apparent to the both of them. Though Jane and Mr. Rochester loved each other far before Mr. Rochester finally confessed his feelings to Jane, it wasn't until then that their love was able to blossom into something more, something visible, something tangible. Not until then was their love able to entertain the idea of marriage, and not until they both commit their love once more will they be able to be together.
And my love is my whole being, and I've shared what I could. But if you give a little love, you can get a little love of your own. Don't break his heart. Yeah, if you give a little love, you can get a little love of your own. Don't break his heart.
Shook it up.
I never loved nobody fully. Always 1 foot on the ground. And by protecting my heart truly, I got lost in the sounds I hear in my mind. All of these voices I hear in my mind. All of these words I hear in my mind. All of this music, and it breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart. When it breaks my heart.
Jane is not willing to be with Mr. Rochester if she'll be his mistress, albeit a supremely loved mistress. Her sense of self is too high to settle for that. So, when do duty, responsibility, and morality play into the success of a love? They do not change the love itself. It is ephemeral. But these factors do alter the circumstances of love, and the positive or negative connotations that surround one's feelings. Duty, responsibility, and morality could interrupt a marriage, but not passion. They hinder the more tangible and rational side of love, rather than the feeling itself.
Falling slowly, eyes that know me, and I can't go back. The moods that take me and erase me, and I'm painted black. Well, you have suffered enough and warred with yourself. It's time that you won. Take this sinking boat and pour it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have the choice. You made it.
Marriage and love in Jane Eyre both require sacrifice. To marry and accompany St. John would require Jane to give up the life she's come to know at Moor House. It would require Jane to submit her individuality to the wants and needs of her husband. This she does not want to do. The price is too high, the sacrifice is too great for someone she does not love, and doesn't want to love. Only with Mr. Rochester is Jane truly happy to give herself up. Only on him, the one she really loves, is she willing to dote. Though Mr. Rochester's and Jane's mutual love remains unconditional throughout Jane Eyre, it is tested by the trivial matter of marriage. Jane could be with Mr. Rochester, but when she discovers the marriage would be illegitimate due to the existence of Mr. Rochester's baneful first wife, she decides she cannot stay with him. And still, when Jane and Edward end up together at last, he insists on going through the arbitrary ritual of marriage. Perhaps this is where consent meets love. Two people may find comfort in such proof of their mutual affection.
And now, let's get on with the wedding. A lot of things to be said about a wedding. A lot of thoughts going on during a wedding. We can't get them all into one wedding, especially a wedding at Grover's Corners, where weddings are mighty short and plain. In this play, I take the part of the minister, though that gives me the right to say a few more things. Yes, for a while the play is going to get a little serious. You see, some churches say that marriage is a sacrament. I don't know what that means, but I can guess. It's like Mrs. Gibbs said a few minutes ago. People are meant to live 2 by 2. This is a good wedding. The people are young, but they come from a good state, and they chose right.
This sort of simplicity in the ceremony also exemplifies Jane and Mr. Rochester's love. Their love needs no medium. Jane was never one for elaborate and showy demonstrations. She was uncomfortable with even the small amount of glamour associated with their first wedding attempt. An unassuming ritual that any two people could undergo is the path they decide to take at the end. Does this mean that their love is not special or unique? Or does the universality of it all indeed make their story and situation special?
How are you this evening, my dear?
Very well. Only I wish you would not call me my dear.
Why?
Because it's what my father always calls my mother when he's cross about something.
What endearments am I allowed?
Well, let me think. Lizzie for every day. My Pearl for Sundays. And Goddess Divine, but only on very special occasions.
And what shall I call you when I'm cross? Mrs. Darcy?
No. No. You may only call me Mrs. Darcy when you are completely and perfectly and incandescently happy.
And how are you this evening, Mrs. Darcy? Mrs. Darcy. Mrs. Darcy. Mrs.